Hi, my name is Elise George from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. I'm joined here by my colleagues Heidi Tennyson and Krista Nixon to talk to you about the U.S. Department of Energy's Collegiate Wind Competition. The Collegiate Wind Competition, or CWC, is sponsored by the DOE's Wind Energy Technologies Office and has been around since 2014. So why wind? So wind energy is among the largest sources of renewable generating capacity in the country. And recent studies suggest that wind energy could supply 20% of the nation's electricity needs by 2030 and 35% by 2035. So that's a huge piece of the puzzle in achieving our nation's decarbonization goals. But we need more workers in every field. We need a diverse and qualified workforce. And this is where the Collegiate Wind Competition comes in. The CWC is investing in the next generation of talent. As a CWC competitor, students have the opportunity to, most importantly, build a lot of experience. It's often the CWC is integrated into academic coursework with hands-on learning and valuable wind energy experience in the mix. They get an opportunity to connect with industry, and they get a vision on what a wind energy career or a renewable energy career can look like. And we do this through providing real-world experiences. We provide undergraduate students with experience and transferable skills critical to a range of jobs in wind and other renewable energy industries. We do this through a number of different challenges: the turbine prototype contest, the turbine testing contest, a project development contest, and connection creation contest. And my colleagues will be talking about each of those in more depth. And the Collegiate Wind Competition has had tremendous impact. We have exposed 150 or more students to the Collegiate Wind Competition each year. Hundreds of companies have partnered to provide mentorship, equipment, and much, much more. And 50 plus colleges and universities have participated since the CWC's inception in 2014. The strong industry support that we have had throughout the years has been tremendously helpful for the students that have been looking for ways to enter the wind energy industry, but it's also been an amazing experience for the industry members to be in an environment with tons of students that are getting the hands-on experience that really make them ready to hit the ground running once they're hired. And on this slide, we show some praise from judges and from alumni that were hired right after graduation. And here's some testimonials from students, faculty, and partners. We hear often, these are just tidbits among tons of great testimonials that we've heard over the years. They love the team building aspects. They're finding great jobs. The hands-on experience they find are impossible to replicate, and they're able to work on some meaningful projects, and they find it's a really high point of their undergraduate experience. And so we love being able to provide these types of challenges for the students, and we hope that you will choose to be involved. I'm going to hand this over to my colleague, Krista.
Hi, I'm Krista. So the yearly competition cycle follows this schedule. In the spring, we release the application, and schools will fill out their applications to participate in CWC for the upcoming school year. In the summer, we will select the teams who will participate in the competition during the first half of this upcoming school year. And those teams will receive some seed funding. In the fall, teams will prepare their first set of submissions for the judges. And in the winter, we will narrow the competition to the finalist teams who will continue to participate during the second half of the school year. Those teams will receive some additional funding. And then in the winter and spring, those finalist teams will prepare their final submissions, conduct their final turbine testing, and present their work to a panel of wind energy experts at the final CWC event.
The first two of the four contests, the turbine prototype and turbine testing contests, students have the opportunity to design, build, and then present a model turbine at a final event. So this is a year-long activity where the students are investigating various aspects of turbine design. And after they're done with this year-long R&D project at their home schools, they'll come to competition and get to deliver a final report. They'll present to a panel of industry judges, and they'll participate in a Q&A with those judges. And then they'll get to take their turbines down to one of the competition wind tunnels you can see pictured here, and they'll get to run through what's done in industry to test the power performance of a turbine. They'll get to produce power at specific wind speeds that are presented to the turbine by the turbine operator or tunnel operator. They'll get to practice rotor speed control. They'll conduct some emergency safety stops, and then they'll demonstrate durability of their turbine based on a simulated real-world wind regime. And so what this all means for the students, they get to apply and test what they've learned in class, and they have a chance to meet with real wind turbine design professionals. In the third contest, project development, students research wind resource data, turbine technology, and environmental factors to create a hypothetical wind farm and perform a 20-year cost of energy analysis. When they're done with their year-long investigation, they'll also produce a final design report that'll be submitted to a panel of judges. Then they'll have a presentation live at that final event, and then also participate in a question and answer session. And what this gives the students is the ability to really have a lot of hands-on experience with terminology from the industry, industry software, and really gives them experience that makes them extremely marketable to hiring managers. Some of the hiring managers have said students are coming out of college not looking like entry-level employees. They're looking like students that have, or professionals that have had a year or more of experience in the industry already, which is pretty incredible.
In the last contest, the Connection Creation Contest, students will partner with wind industry professionals. They'll raise awareness of wind energy in their local communities and work with local media to promote their team's accomplishments. Students will develop and execute outreach, recruitment, and social media strategies for their teams. They'll tell their team's story. They'll engage in activities with the wind industry, their local communities, and other CWC teams. They'll submit a final metrics report and present to a panel of industry judges and the public, as well as host a Q&A session with those judges. And what students get out of this contest is an understanding of the wind energy industry and engagement with professionals, and skills to share the purpose and impact of your work with communities as well as potential employers. The final event for CWC takes place at an industry conference or an alternate venue, and will be a multi-day live event, which will include opportunities to meet with active members of the renewable energy industry. CWC gives students the opportunity to be creative, to explore their interests in the wind energy industry, get to know students outside of their majors, gain leadership skills, apply classroom learning to hands-on projects, meet students at other schools, and most importantly, to have fun.
One of the things that always feels really exciting about this program is that it's very collegial between teams. It's definitely a competition, but there's a lot of collaboration between teams. And the CWC organizers additionally like to provide or try to provide lots of resources to help schools be successful in the competition, especially if you're a new team starting out. It can be a pretty heavy lift to get started, but we have a lot of support for you. So one of the ways we do this is having multiple calls with all of the teams and the organizers so that students can hear from other teams what kind of challenges and successes they're having as the year goes on, and also find ways, opportunities to connect with other faculty advisor and students within and outside of that call. We help new teams connect with seasoned faculty advisors, so advisor to advisor. And then we also have curated this comprehensive resource of reference materials. So we have created quite a few webinars that help get you started, wind energy basics, how to really succeed in each of the contests, as well as specific resources for each of the contests that are reports and data and access to software and also to technical support, folks from industry who have been willing to put their email addresses on a web page for students to contact them. And then also with software packages to industry-leading software where you would otherwise have to pay for the software subscriptions, we've been able to facilitate those through the Collegiate Wind competition.
All of those resources are linked on our HeroX platform through the American Made Challenges platform, as well as a detailed timeline for the current competition cycle, a forum where students can ask questions about the competition to the organizers and receive additional updates from the competition organizers. HeroX is also where teams will submit their deliverables for each phase of the competition. We also have some frequently asked questions. And while we primarily receive questions through the HeroX forum, if you have questions that are specific to your team's application, you can email collegiate.wind@nrel.gov.
So who can apply? While eventually you want to have a fully formed team, of course, applications can be submitted by one student, multiple students, and/or a faculty advisor. Eventually, a fully formed team is typically comprised of one or more student leads, one or more faculty advisors, and 10 or more students is typically pretty good level of engagement. There are quite a few contest activities, so if you have fewer than 10, it can be pretty hard to execute on all the contests successfully. And another great thing is to have a balance between undergraduate or underclassmen, so freshmen and sophomores, and juniors and seniors, to really help with building long-term programs. And then the teams can be comprised of undergraduate students, undergraduate only, so no graduate students, from any number of institutions. The application needs to be led by a single four-year college or university, but you can partner with a two-year university, another four-year institution, or an international institution. And a full list of the application questions is in the rules and requirements document that you can find on the HeroX platform, but just wanted to give a little preview here of some of the application topics and a couple of tips. So in the application, it asks you to describe how you recruit team members across multiple disciplines. So it gave a sense of the sort of magnitude of the team, but successful teams often include students from multiple engineering disciplines, business, communications, and other fields. And it can be really helpful to recruit those students through the development of a wind energy club or faculty advisors in multiple disciplines. We also ask you to discuss why you want to compete in this competition and what it means for you. And here, we really want you to share your passion for wind energy with us. We also want or ask you to explain if and how your team will be programmatically supported by your collegiate institution. And part of the reason for this is that the competition activities require significant work, and it's really helpful if the team members can get collegiate credit for some of the work. Examples have included inclusion of this contest activities in a capstone project, a student club, or an independent study. And being programmatically supported also helps, again, kind of create longevity with this collegiate wind competition engagement. And then we asked what your plan is for filling a possible funding gap. Building a prototype wind turbine and traveling to the competition may exceed the amount of funding provided by the competition. But a couple ways that can have been successful is if you've developed a wind energy club that can provide access to a certain buckets of funding from the school. And also sometimes industry members can be willing to sponsor the teams in addition to providing mentorship.
So how to apply? Teams interested in applying to the Collegiate Wind Competition should visit this URL, www.americanmadechallenges.org/challenges/collegiate-wind-competition. Click Follow the Competition to navigate to the current competition cycle's CIROX site and see the official rules under Challenge Resources for specific application requirements.
If this all sounds like a lot, or you're not sure if you want to apply to the competition, please come check us out at our live event. Our application period's always open during our final event, and you can find information on the final event at the same HeroX site, and just look for the current competition cycle rather than the next year's competition cycle, and come see us. We often have a handful of extra passes that can be complimentary for you to come see the competition, as well as sometimes additional travel funding. But thank you so much for watching this informational webinar and considering being part of the Collegiate Wind Competition community.